Alright guys, I'm back today with one of the absolute craziest and weirdest 22 long rifle pistols I've ever fired. If a Thompson submachine gun had a baby with a 22 and a rail system from an AR, this is what it would produce. The wildest looking 22 pistol in a semi-auto configuration that I've ever seen. This is manufactured by Standard Manufacturing, and this is the Jackal or Jackhammer, depending on the configuration you select. They originally came out with the Jackal with a slightly shorter non-threaded barrel, and the new version Jackhammer does come with the longer barrel and thread protector and 1/2x28 threads on the end of the barrel. This thing is weird, it's wild, and it is a blast down at the range. I want to tell you the origin story of how I acquired this because Standard Manufacturing makes some really weird and interesting things. I picked up a switch gun on a pawn shop find video and fell in love with it. It's kind of like a switchblade mixed with a 22 revolver in a single action only. I've got a lot of videos on that. Definitely check it out. One of my favorite little pocket novelty revolvers that actually had some interesting practical applications. Check out those videos for more information. But Standard Manufacturing saw that video, reached out to me and wanted to work together, and they said, what do you want to take a look at? And as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to grab it. Just such a cool looking platform. I never expected it though to be like incredibly functional for different applications. I pretty much was getting it because it looked like an interesting range toy. But after some actual time at the range and utilizing this in a wide variety of applications, I feel like this is a pretty awesome platform, and we'll talk about that in a later part of this video. But if you want more information, you can head over to my campsite page, my Instagram page, my Twitter, and my Patreon. And I also have YouTube memberships where you can get a jump on high value items, deals, and where I find things like this, because these are sort of a rare bird. You can also head to their site to find more information about the specific specs and features, but let's start talking about those, and then we'll talk about its performance and why you may want something like this for your collection. Right off the bat, if you do purchase one of the original Jackals, it's got a smaller barrel that's non-threaded. The Jackhammer does have the longer barrel with 1/2x28 threads, and it mates up very interestingly at the receiver itself. There's no barrel shroud or hand guard because this is a handgun designed to be fired from one hand, and it's actually fairly ergonomic. Moving to the receiver portion itself, it's sort of got a hand stop here if you were to kind of put your hand towards the front of the gun. The mags themselves are very Thompson submachine gun-esque. They slide in from the side. They also have a locking tab located right here. When you pull the bolt back, they'll slide out the sides. To drop it in, you'll simply pull the bolt back, drop it in there, and then lock it into place, and then now you are good to go to fire the pistol. It's actually fairly easy to swap it out, although it's not like a quick mag change like another handgun. That's probably one of the downfalls if you were to get a gun like this for actual like personal defense applications with tactical mag changes. It is a little bit cumbersome, but for a range toy or for other hunting applications, it's not that big of a deal. It also feeds from the stick and the round boy that you can get more info on their website, so you may not need to change them out as much as you think when you drop that big boy in there. Moving along to the the side receiver cover and grip module. So when you slide your hand in, it's fairly ergonomic from either side, so it's not a right-handed or left-handed gun. It works out fairly well. The grip is pretty comfortable in your hands. I could honestly deal without finger grooves because everybody's hand's different, but it's actually fairly comfortable. You can see up here it's got M-LOK and key mod slots, which is a pretty cool touch that you can add little pick rail sections to it or lights and lasers, and I feel like adding like an IR laser to something like this would be a pretty cool like night vision blaster, like a varmint getter in the evenings. At the top, it does have a pick rail that you can put an optic on, and it works out incredibly well with a low profile optic. And if you're interested in a lot of optics deals, again, check out that campsite page. Check out my Instagram page, my Twitter, and all those other platforms. And I also just created an Amazon campsite page with all of my favorite Amazon products, including red dots. And I've linked some really high value options over there, and that'll be in the description below if you're interested in that. Moving along to the rear of the platform, you can see it just kind of ends right here, and it doesn't do much. And I believe they have longer rifle versions of this available, or had available at one point in time. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's kind of where that draws from. It also chambers like a Thompson from the top and has the cutout sights right there if you wanted to kind of peep through there and peep through the back and kind of line it up. No front sight post really, so it's designed to be fired with like some sort of optic on the top. So functionally, it ran. It ran good, and it surprised me. There was a lot of ammo I've been having trouble with in other 22 platforms, and I just wanted to see if it worked in here, and man, did it. I mean, it just had like 1 or 2 bobbles out of the 700 rounds that I fired through it, and it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just a weak powered cartridge that didn't quite clear the ejection port. So it's been working out great down at the range functionally with really no issues whatsoever. It ran everything that I put through it, no light primer strikes, cheap ammo, it just worked great. Also, if you put that quiet device on the end of it, running just basic subsonic and standard velocity stuff, this thing is silent and definitely a little like movie spy action plinker. Now, why would you want something like this? First, it's fun. It's reliable and it works. So if you wanted a reliable range toy that it wasn't going to jam up on you and be real finicky with ammo selection, this is cool. If you wanted a little varmint hunter with a red dot on here, it's fairly ergonomic, easy to hold. I feel like you could definitely utilize this for different hunting applications. The safety on the side makes it very practical in the sense of if you were hunting, you can actually lock all that bolt down. You get to your stand or wherever you're going to be blasting some squirrels, you slide it down, and then you're good to go. Would this be something you could use for personal defense? Probably not. There's many other better options for that, but I did want to get that out of the way. And then the other thing, and probably one of the coolest applications I would say, is maybe some type of night vision plinker. With the advent of digital night vision and affordable night vision, especially some of the ones I reviewed on Amazon for like $100, $200, you can grab an IR laser from a company like Olight, utilizing the code 704TACTICAL for 10% off. Getting those lasers about $140, slap that to the side of this thing, and really just have a night vision plinker with a quiet device on the end, I feel like is a pretty slick option. Now, is this for everybody? Absolutely not. But now, after I've shot it, it is just way too much fun down at the range. I love it. It's fun. I just kept putting round after round after round through it. It works out great, and I think you will like it too. Again, a lot of that information will be on those other platforms in the description below, and follow me over there. Also, I did mention channel memberships earlier. I'm doing a lot of members-only posts and videos to get a jump on deals and sales, so definitely consider checking that out to support the channel, amongst many other ways of just liking and commenting. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.